Yeah, well, we have a typical like deposit amount. I think ours is anywhere from 500 to 2,000, depending on the size. I mean, you have to do that at the end of the day in order for a contractor to be able to order equipment, get a permit pulled for you, and do things according to code. We need a deposit. So I would say when you are going into the scenario, like, figure out what that deposit is and then figure out what the fine print is. So like, when do I have to cancel by in order to get this deposit back? And like, am I serious enough about this in order to proceed forward? Because that deposit is getting your foot in the door. And then once you start getting those permits pulled and that equipment ordered, that's when you're going to see that deposit amount get whittled down and you won't be able to get the full amount back. So just think about that before you go forward. Realize that you are pretty much starting to take a step towards a contract, basically, with this company, and to think about what that means for you.
Yeah, it's got to be fair both ways around it. And what I see sometimes, I remember talking with one of the roofing partners, is they'll come in, some of these fly by night type companies, they'll come in kind of the storm chasers, and they'll get a 50% deposit, and then they're gone. They're like, hey, I got 50% of the money, and I didn't have to do the work.
See ya.
So that's the thing you got to be careful for, especially for these big jobs, and different scenarios out there. But yeah, Dan, so you're on the service side. So you're a service manager, you're overseeing a lot of the technicians. And, over the years of hosting this show, almost a decade now, we've been on air, where, you see there's a variety of different feedback that I've seen in terms of specifically with the air conditioning units, because sometimes it could be a repair, but then there's other contractors that will go out and say, oh, you got to replace this thing.
That's right.
Yep.
So whenever I see that, I explain to customers also, being an AC man or a service man it's very difficult. It's very labor intensive. So in this trade, we get a lot of new guys. They rotate. It's a rotational business. There's very few companies that have guys that actually stay and stick around for multiple years. And that's the question that people should ask. Say, hey, how many guys have been there for 10 plus years?
Right.
Because that's when you're going to get an honest guy out there and tell you the right thing that's wrong with it, and not get a misdiagnosis to where you're going to end up replacing a unit, for a large amounts of money, when it could only be $300, $400. I've personally been out multiple times, given an estimate with 3 companies behind me, or I'm sorry, that came in front of me, and it was nothing but a clogged drain line.
Wow.
So this lady's about to buy a $10,000 air conditioner when all she needed was her drain line clean.
Wow.
So that's the things I see a lot, man.